have a bunch of stuff kind of going on around us, so just kind of ignore that, and we're going to talk to Gustavo, right?
Yeah. Hi, guys. Nice to be here.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us. So let's talk just a little bit first about your background. So who are you? What do you do? Why are you interested in culture?
Well, I think that culture is everything. So I think that I'm connected with culture now as a consultant. I used to be a CEO, so I ran 4 companies in the past. And before that, I was an employee. So I suffered the culture. I
All the
made
way
people
through.
suffer, and now I'm going to correct my past mistakes.
Nice, I like it. I like it. No, that's awesome. So you're speaking here tomorrow. Tomorrow, right?
No, I spoke earlier
You
today.
spoke earlier today. Sorry.
No problem. At 2:15.
Lots going on right now. So what was your talk to me just a little bit about your presentation and what that was like.
The theme was about how to lead teams in permanent whitewater. Basically, it's change. I mean, everyone talks about change, and change is not an exception, but the new reality, and how organizations need to become more human, more adaptive, and more experimental and innovative to thrive in permanent whitewater.
No, I like that a lot. I think that's super important because, yeah, like you said, change is only increasing. We're only seeing more change than we have before. So what are some of the ways that organizations can do to kind of help their employees be adaptive?
I think the first step is revisiting collaboration. I mean, we were talking that all the companies want to and say that they are collaborative, but the truth is most teams don't collaborate. And they fall in what we call the collaboration trap, that people believe that collaboration is about getting along.
Yeah, and everybody being...
And it's about having fun and we're all okay. Where actually what brings the best out of teams is the frictions. When people think differently and they push each other, that's when they raise the bar.
That's when when there is some of that conversation going back and forth, when the good ideas kind of start to rise.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and when you have those, real conversations, like those pointed deep, like have that friction. I like that. So if somebody is an employee out there, they're working, they're maybe mid-level manager or frontline employee, how can they start to do some of that? How can they start to have some of those real, true collaborations?
I think the important thing is we are trained, or most people were trained to expect someone else to take action for us. So when there's a problem, teams expect their managers or leaders to solve the problem. When there's lack of trust, people expect the team to trust you before you trust them, and that doesn't work. So being a true leader, regardless of your title, your position, your seniority, is taking action. So if you want to create trust, start by trusting your teammates. If you want to solve problems, start by speaking up.
Yeah, be the first one, be the kind of example for your other people to see.
Exactly.
I like that a lot. So let's take it just a little bit from the other side then. If you are the CEO, if you're an executive level leader, if the founder of the company, how do you help build that collaboration, the true collaboration, into everyone in your organization?
I think there are many factors. The first is leaders need to let go of power, let go of authority, and let go of thinking that they're right, because no one has all the answers. And also stop treating people as kids, because we put a lot of regulations and control that instead of building trust, they control people. So if we tell people, you need to show up at 9 every day, you need to punch that card, you need to do that, people say, okay, you don't trust me. So we need to start treating people as adults if we want them to give us their best.
I like that. I like that a lot. So what do you see as, especially when it kind of revolves around this culture talk, revolves around, like you were mentioning, dealing with the constant whitewater. What's the biggest opportunity revolving around culture now today?
I think there are 2 things. First, that people still keep talking about culture as something that magic and perfect and value driven, but culture is defined by behaviors. So you can write on the wall your beliefs, whatever, but if you don't live those behaviors, doesn't matter. So your culture is shaped by what you reward and what you punish. So if you say we collaborate, but then the asshole gets all the salary raises and increases, then
then
people
know what
people say,
we really value.
Collaborate.
We really value that. Yeah.
On their hand, I think one thing that we're missing is we usually talk about culture like if there was one single culture, and think of America. It's a 330 million country. There are so many subcultures. Within companies, team cultures are stronger and more prevalent than the actual organization culture. So building culture is building the culture from the team up and not from the top down. No?
Yeah.
You can define the values, but also you need to feed from what people do, because the culture is shaped by what people actually do and how they dress.
Well, and I love that point that it's actually more about, rather than the big group as a whole, the big culture, it's about the little teams. It's about the groups of individuals, the people the 2 people, the 3 people who are working together on a regular basis. They're starting to really feed what the culture of that organization is.
Yeah. Take, for example, the president, whoever he is, right? I'm not talking about the current one. The president of a country like America is basically the one who keeps the values present and keeps, someone pass the baton and he keeps repeating the same stuff to make sure that we're on track. But then the pop culture, the music, the food, whatever, is created by people, not from the people that are leading the country. So CEOs need to take that same kind of approach.
I like that a lot. I think that's a really great way kind of thinking about it, especially because it makes it seem more attainable. It keeps it from being that kind of magic word, that thing that is just out there, and it brings it more down to the real world, the everyday. It's what we do in our small groups with our work friends, with our work colleagues, the people we see on a day in and a day out basis, that really changes the culture of an organization.
Absolutely. Culture happens on the corridors and on the meetings, not on the town hall meetings or in the C-suite meeting room.
No, I like that a lot. I love that. So anything else from especially your presentation that you kind of want to talk to our live stream viewers? They didn't get a chance to see it. What are some other big takeaways that they should have?
Well, I think one of the things we discuss a lot and people ask a lot of questions afterwards is how self-awareness, both at an individual and team level, is becoming more and more important. And one of the things that we share, we ask the team, okay, who believes that know themselves well? And 70% of people raise their hands. But research shows that 90-something% of people believe they're self-aware, but only 15 truly are. So there's a gap between what we believe we know about ourselves and others and what we actually do. That's why many leaders make wrong decisions. So I think that building your own self-awareness is critical if you want to become a better employee and a better leader.
Awesome. Well, I love that. I think that's excellent. So if people want to get in contact with you, learn more about you, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can call right now. Well, they can reach out. I mean, our website is liberationist.org. I mean, it has a lot of tools, content, and articles. And my Twitter handle is Gus Razzetti with double Z and double T. Or you can search for me on LinkedIn. I have, 30,000 whatever contacts, so you're going to find me.
Yeah.
And there are not many Gustavo Razzettis there.
I imagine. I also had that lucky privilege. There's no Paul Kuskis, especially Nick. But anyways, if you want to learn more about him, just see about his presentation, you can also go check out our schedule. All the speakers are listed on the website as well, and then you can connect there. I think all the Twitter handles and Facebook image, all that kind of stuff is linked up on that speaker page, so you can go check that out there as well. And Gustavo, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Nice job. Okay. I'm going to take that from you, and I think we have our next speaker.